Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK Summer 2019. We are down to the wire here. Game number 3 between Griffin and SKT. Our spring final rematch is definitely living up to the hype that it probably wouldn't have deserved if you watched that spring final. That was as one-sided as it could be in favor of SKT. We thought it might have been looking towards that after we saw the draft, but Griffin changed what they needed to and played to their win conditions, and SKT didn't do enough to stop them from achieving it.
No, they didn't. And this time around, let's see if the draft is actually going to be changed up at all, Alice.
Well, I mean, now we do have, once again, SKT on the red side, and the bans are looking exactly the same.
Give me this. So we're going to have Nico, Callista, and Varus banned away by Griffin. And then, can you turn the page? Yuumi, Karma, and Lux. Lux, right?
Yeah,
they're much. Yes. Oh. And then
Ezreal, though, is going to be the change up here. Oh my god, we're not watching game 1. We're watching a new game.
You know what? It's time to blame G-Sun. Got the wrong papers down here.
No. What is happening? Griffin insta-lock the Silas, which was actually very important in game number 2. Felt like an odd pick in game number 1, but now SKT thinking about what they want to do next. Is it just going to be Xayah or Kahn? They could just do it if they want to.
Let's see if they do lock in Kahn. As 5 seconds remaining.
Xayah being considered, 1 second to go, and they lock it in. Is it just going to be the Lovers duo, though? Because there are a few other options that you can go for. Having a look at the priority list when it comes to the champions left available. Sejuani still up. The Braum has been what SKT have really wanted to go towards, as Clid is going to lock away the Sedge one more time. Running it back. Let's see whether he can have a better performance this time, because a little bit wanting on the ultimate accuracy. And of course, as far as farming the jungle was concerned, he got pretty schooled by Tarzan in game number 2. And game number 1. Actually, Tarzan did have his number in game 1 as well. As, oh, don't do it, please, God.
Yes. Do it. Lock it in. Lock it in.
We do need to celebrate that Tahm Kench got his first victory on 9-14.
That is true.
So
you're always looking for the silver lining.
Yeah. My cup iseth half full, my dude.
Okay. Is there like a third part of that? You know, there's like cup half full, cup half empty. Is there like a third? I don't know. Cup
is halfway up. I don't know. I guess like because it's all about talking about exactly the same thing as a positive and a negative, right? So I guess there can be a neutral.
There has to be a neutral. What's the neutral?
My cup has half of its
contents water in the fridge
with water.
Is that it?
This is a toughie. As Cannon is going to be locked in. Definitely a key part of game number 2's victory for Griffin, and the Lovers duo are going to be secured by SKT.
We'll see how they are going to respond to the cannon. As remember, Jace disabled.
Yeah. Talia also disabled.
Yeah, Talia
and
also
Mordekaiser
disabled.
Not available.
Well, he wouldn't have been available anyway. Yeah. He went from worse to terrible. Okay. That's basically what happened there. As Trundle bites the dust right now.
But this time we are going to see a change-up, especially on SKT's side. No more. We're going to have the Sivir and Braum. It's going to be those Lovers on the bottom side that should be able to punish this Tahm Kench pickup pretty effectively, given the fact that the champions that want to be with Tahm Kench have been banned. I mean, you've got Callista Tahm Kench is a decent lane, Varus Tahm Kench is a great lane, especially in patches gone by, and Ezreal Tahm Kench is the quintessential. All 3 of those options no longer there for Griffin. They can play the awesome dudes. Some of the Tahm Kench lanes, like the Victor Tahm Kench, have been popular, and of course the Vladimir Tahm Kench is another one. Sona going to be banned here from SKT, not wanting any of those shenanigans as we look down the draft. I like that, just taking that one off the board, because Sona Tahm Kench was certainly the Korean preference.
Well, Azir now going to meet his maker. Oh, see, even in bans, he's matched with Corki.
I know. And the Corki ban coming in for the first time is actually big. Fakes is going to have to change up his champion choices. Speaking of changing that up, it is going to be the Aatrox available for Kahn. And we know that his win rate on this champion is certainly pretty damn high. Let me double check that one for you. Out of 12 games, he is at a 66% win rate, so not exactly the most gigantic, but they have been more recent rather than the beginning of the season, which was a rough one.
And this is the buffed Atrox.
Yeah.
So we'll end up seeing how he's going to manage to pilot this into the Griffin team composition. As I will say that the drafts are definitely more balanced this time around. Griffin seems to be going with...
it's the same thing, but they're going to pick a Kai'Sa instead of the Ezreal, is what I'm assuming.
Okay.
That's what I got written in front of me here.
Oh, is it? Is it really?
But we'll see whether they do anything
maybe we don't even get an
interesting.
AD. Maybe we don't even get an AD champion.
Yeah, it might be that, the Victor. Yep, there it is.
Okay. Turn the page.
Yeah, sorry.
I got you.
Yeah, thanks, dude. I mentioned the Victor before, and you can understand why they've done it. They just want to sort of AFK this lane, not allow the Xayah Rakan to get any of that duo synergy power for themselves. And SKT now going to be picking up... Oh, FLICKR's LeBlanc, please.
Oh, man.
Please do it.
That's a historical...
This is a huge one, and FLICKR is going to be locking it in. I remember when he suffered his first loss on this champion after going 100% throughout all of the LCK. It was back in 2015. It was at MSI. It was a huge moment, and now back on this champion once again. We've seen it many times since then, and it's just still such a dangerous pickup. And if you steal away the ultimate, the Mimic is not exactly the biggest deal when it comes to being a Sylas. Of course, you can distort around and do some fun stuff there, but otherwise, the value isn't as high as just having the kit of the LeBlanc.
No, it's really not. And this time around, like I said about the two team compositions, it's definitely much closer. In the super late game, I would probably say that the edge lies with Griffin, although it's really, really thin.
Yeah, it's a toughie because like you normally look at it and you're right, like awesome dude on the bottom side of the map. That means that they're going to get outscaled if we get to like 4 items on an AD carry. But there is an AD carry on this team. Doran is going to be playing press the attack cannon more likely than not once again. And therefore, that question is not necessarily going to be quite as clear-cut.
Yeah, and on the side of SK Telecom, they have Aatrox, Sejuani, LeBlanc, and then they have Xayah. And right at the very end there, as the camera is panning, they have Rakan. So there is an enormous amount of mid-game power.
Okay.
And in the late game, it comes down to FLICKR to pull off smoke and mirror gameplay for them to remain relevant.
Yeah, and also a lot of pick potential as well. So look for those wards around the map as SKT move on. They got out-warded in game number 2. We'll see whether they're going to get that vision back in line in game number 3, something that Marta did bring to this team. But let's see how it goes as we get onto the Rift. Lol Park erupts as the SKT cheers ring out. It is absolutely jam-packed. I can't see an empty seat in Lol Park right now. Everyone wanting to see what is going to happen, whether SKT can continue this winning streak. And of course, the game-winning streak was broken. Out of 14 games, that was their first loss. But now number 15 is whether or not they're going to drop their first series, and it is so important that SKT win every single match that's put up against them. Slight pause, going to be coming in here. See who's got the issue now. Might be once again Viper with a little bit of a problem. We will get an update for you as to what has gone wrong.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to guess maybe Teddy.
Yeah, you just heard that in your ear.
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you are... No. The script is supposed to be a joke, all right, and that was literally reading off the script. As Teddy, I don't know what the problem is. He looks bored more than anything else. Have you noticed that Teddy actually just looks bored most of the time?
Yeah. There's a few players that always tend to have the same kind of facial expressions or vibe that they give off. Teddy always seems bored.
Yep.
Fly is always unamused.
He is.
And
but he's always handsome. I feel like he's always like smoldering a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
Peanut is mostly happy.
Yep.
Peanut's mostly happy. Keen looks like...
Keen looks shocked all the time. He looks like he's just been surprised by something.
He looks like he had babysitting dropped on him last minute when he was about to go out with his friends. You know?
Yep.
So that's how Keen tends to appear. Doran, he's not amused.
He is not. This guy is seeing red. And now we get the comparison. This was mentioned on Reddit, but we get the comparison between the CV Max belt and the Coma belt. And see whose belt is going to ring true, because Coma's belt would have been out after that game number 2. See who suffered the most. Didn't see any crying faces, and of course Teddy was not the recipient of said belt, obviously, based on the fact that he still looks like he's just casually playing video games and wants to get back into them as soon as possible. FLICKR as well, looking pretty confident moving into this one, and does have his hands on his LeBlanc once again. The laning phase is, for the first time this series, not going to be Silas versus Corky, which was something that looked like Chovy had complete control of.
Had his number in the matchup for sure. That's the way that it did end up looking in Game 1 and Game number 2. That the sign is really good, and I actually really like those emotes, but the coffee that was to the right of it, that was looking absolutely delicious. So
can we get this production? We don't have talkback, unfortunately, but if you could bring a couple of cold brews up to the desk, that would be fantastic. I
might have to shout them out. I need an Americano, though. I gotta wait for that.
All right. Okay.
I'm on a diet, Alice.
Okay. I mean, cold brew is like 4 calories.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what kind of influence you really have. Now I'm waiting. I'm on standby.
These pictures are incredible. Look at that. Is that a trace? That looks like they traced it, but I know you can't see through that paper.
Oh, man.
Damn, that is impressive.
That's actually insane. He did that here. Like outside in the Bilgewater.
Oh, no, there's sticky tape. He stuck it
on. He's stuck cheating.
It on. What?
Oh, my.
You're not allowed to do that.
Absolutely not. It would be awful if one of his friends accused him of cheating, like how you did when you said I heard someone say that Teddy had the problem.
Damn, what was that? Moving back for a burn? Not fair at all.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to The Lion King.
Me too.
I feel like right?
It's been out for a while. I don't know whether it's still going to be in cinemas. I can look that up.
I'll look it up. Where are we going? We going to
CGV.
Sinchon?
I reckon CGV Sinchon sounds good.
Okay, I'll take a gander at that real quick.
CGV.co.kr. Just see whether we can set this date up while we wait for this pause to finish. All right. Oh, there's one for expats. The Lion King is on today.
Well,
will it be on in a few days' time?
Wednesday
is the question. The Lion King. Let's have a look. Let's take a look here. Sorry, guys.
There is.
We'll be back with you.
Hold on. Wednesday, right?
Wednesday is fine. Yep.
Wednesday is fine with you? Okay. Oh, no way. Oh, no, it is. Okay, it is. They have showings at 3, 8, and 10.
3, 8, and 10? Well, what about an 8 o'clock session? Or you
Absolutely.
Want to do a bit of a later one? All right, 8 o'clock it is.
All right.
Lock it in. Look at us go.
Oh, man.
Thank goodness there was a pause so that we could organize this in a pretty hype series of the LCK. Going to see some Lion King at 8 p.m. on
now
Wednesday.
FLICKR's sad he's not invited.
Oh, we could invite him.
He is clenching his teeth right now. He's so angry.
Well,
good job, Atlas.
We'll rectify the situation after the game.
Oh my god.
He only needs to worry about it for the duration of the final game in this best-of-3 series that has gone the distance. We are still in the middle of a pause. I'm not entirely sure what went wrong to Teddy's PC and why the pause is ensuing. You can see that is a very angry Chovy on your screen, ready to get back into the game as Clid has decided not to eat his gum. He is just holding it for the moment.
What is with the whole gum meme?
There's a gum meme?
Yeah. A lot of players talk about chewing gum.
I mean, I think Deft is the most notorious for always having gum.
Yeah.
He actually makes him look more like an alpaca, like he's just chewing on the grass, like an alpaca would.
Well,
we're just about to be back into the game, guys. So thankfully, we managed to sort out our movie times And it's just in time for this series to continue.
I love the Lion King. Who's your favorite character?
My favorite, probably Rafiki, because he's got a cool name and he's mysterious.
Oh.
And also the gif of him throwing Simba off Pride Rock is just amazing.
Okay, I like that. Growing up, I liked Simba.
Yeah.
And I did like Scar.
Yeah, Scar's amazing.
Scar is quite good.
I'm actually a little bit worried for the remake, just because they won't have what's his name, Mr. Irons, for his voice, and he was just so incredibly good in The Lion King. My God, I don't know who they have for the new one.
Yeah, I don't either. We're gonna find out. True surprise. Yeah.
But here we are into game number 3 between Griffin and SKT. Finally, after that drawn-out pause, and things have finally changed. We also have some different options. Chovy back to the Aftershock once again in the mid lane. Not going to change things up based on the matchup at all. We've seen a lot of different thoughts on Silas solo lane after the recent changes in 9-14. As we're going to check out the stats for FLICKR's LeBlanc. 15-2 in the LCK. And a KDA of 6.5. Like we were saying, pretty good at this champion, and he stops Chovy from hitting any sort of skill shot on him as well, but he hit a minion instead of getting electrocute proc, which makes me a little bit sad.
And this is really cool to see iconic champions like this end up coming out for their respective player.
Yeah.
We don't see that so often. Deft's another one with his Jinx.
Deft's Jinx, Deft's Sivir, Deft's Ezreal. He's pretty good at AD carries.
He's pretty good with, quite a few of them.
Yep. Even his Kalista, which used to be one of his worst champions, transformed into one of his best. Similar to Crown in that way, where he takes a little bit of time, but once he nails a champion, he's really good at it.
Crown's Victor.
You remember? Yeah. You remember Crown's Syndra though? Yeah. Crown's Syndra was awful for so long, and then he was a god at the champion, and it made no sense. It was a weird thing. And now over in North America, playing fantastically well. For Optic at the moment. Didn't get to watch any. I had to go to sleep when LCS started.
I haven't watched LCS. I've watched LEC. You know what else I've watched? I've watched Clid attempt many ganks tonight. Yeah,
well, let's see whether he's going to be more successful this time around. Looks like the level 3 option is going to be there as Doran wanting to continue the pressure onto Kahn, who is a level behind. And that's not the aggression button. That's the go home button. Not the one that you want to be pressing here, as he's going to cancel it. Here we go. Knock-up comes in. Doran dodges the sweet spot on the third proc as the flash comes in. Good knock-up comes forward. Doran going to go for the easier flash, but it's not enough. First blood goes to Clid at level 3. 3 minutes in, and we've got high-octane League of Legends already.
Oh, man. And Clid is recalling right now. Okay, he does end up channeling the full recall, and you can see that Doran, at least respecting the possibility of something going awry, he recalls right to his turret. Tarzan now.
How many Dorans are in this lane, though?
Ooh,
I can currently see
double Doran.
Oh, I can see 4. There's even the shield. Kahn stole one from Doran's shop.
Maybe that's why he's so angry, and he's bringing 2 knives.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a rogue cannon, so...
Like, he let Viper have that ring. Like, that's totally fine.
He gave that
but,
to him.
Both of the shields were stolen.
This is a disaster. Yeah, this is awful.
Well, you can understand why Doran was upset.
Yeah. Indefinitely.
He was stealing his stuff.
It's probably why he left the rift.
Yeah, I would say so as well. Death Chamber needed to go there just to cool off for a moment. Teleport going to come in here. That's a ballsy one, but Lehends is going to put himself in the way. And no Hex Core upgrade just yet here from Viper. Just wanted to get his health back by the looks of things. I believe lost a trade on that bottom side.
And, well, now in the middle lane, FLICKR, he's having a much easier time in this game than he had in either of the previous 2. Also should be noted he has the Ignite against the teleport of Chovy.
Yep, he just wants to kill Chovy by the looks of things.
Yeah, or get some good roams. I'll take another look at this replay. Kahn ends up actually missing his 3rd Q, but this was finally well timed, and Doran, it just wouldn't really matter. He couldn't get in position.
Yes, oh, you can see. Okay. Coma, he's ready to be excited about SKT again now, but before that, you saw it on his face. He was worried.
Yeah.
He was worried. That belt was obviously out. Frost comes in. Clid's just 1v1ing against Chovy as this minion wave is going to conga line. He really wants this wave to crash, but I don't think it's going to, as Chovy just places the wave here. Nicely done. Really good minion management there from Chovy.
And now FLICKR, FLICKR's going to come back, and now if FLICKR wants, the wave is coming into him, but it looks like he's actually going to distortion forward, which is fine, given that Chovy, he still has his teleport available, so.
Yeah, vision on top side for SKT as well, so FLICKR does have a lot of options when it comes to disengage and maneuvers like that as effort. Not going to get gravity fielded, but also doesn't find the Grand Entrance CC. Good blade caller there onto Viper. Utilizing his shields well, though, on his Q. Keep himself alive, as Viper does have now the upgraded Hex Core. And the wave clear is now going to be much more difficult to bear. On the side of Griffin, Death Ray is, of course, what you're going to be evolving first in this particular matchup especially.
And now at this point, Ocean Dragon, oh, bad rolls.
This is the first time that SKT have got the first Drake of the game, though, so far this series, utilizing their now early game advantages around this map. As you can see, it is FLICKR with a CS advantage for the first time this series. Ooh. As Doran, sweet spot of the third hit of the Q. Bad news bears. And that may actually spell some problems here, as Kahn now has Caulfield's Warhammer, some extra CDR, as Tarzan comes in looking to try and steal away this red buff, but Clid, in at the nick of time, finds himself the control ward, but Chovy gets first roam.
Uh-oh.
Control ward comes in. It's going to be a smite fight here, unless, nope, Clid's just going to give this one up. And a lot of vision now, very deep into SKT's jungle.
Clid knows that he doesn't have flash, doesn't want to get into any sticky scenario.
Yep, Battle Dance comes forward. Gravity Field's going to get the stun actually onto Teddy. Only level 5, so no Chaos Storm to come in, as Lehends is hungry, as you can see. Yeah, a lot of damage now as Viper's utilizing the power spike of his first Hex Core upgrade.
And Teddy and Effort, they're just trying to hang on right now in bottom.
Yeah, and actually, you know, the farm's even as Viper, the Doinby ult. I love this. Absolutely love it. Knockup comes forward. Teddy, fair bit of damage, but no mana. As that was an ultimate thrown down just to clear out a minion wave and to soften up the members of SKT underneath that turret. I really like it. This was popularized by the FPX mid laner in Doinby many moons ago on the Victor. He would hit level 6 in the mid lane, and he would just instantly press his R button on the mid lane.
Yep.
And hopefully hit the enemy laner, but that wasn't really the priority.
And well, Teddy and Effort, they are shoving this wave. Lehends, though, waiting for the freeze. Teddy reading this out is a possibility. Ends up escorting majority of the wave, but it is meant to try to slow the recall. Unfortunately, though, Merkan and Zaya, they got that abusive champion synergy.
Hop on.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, get back.
You know what I was thinking about, actually, just as I said this, though, is that League doesn't have... I would like to see more champions like them, where they have unique synergies with each other,
Teamfight tactics, man. It's, it's made us realize that composition synergies are really fun.
Yeah.
As Clid is going to steal away a red buff of his own. So we're 1 for 1 as far as the steals are concerned, as we're going to swap positions, trading places in the mid lane. Adorable. As Kahn and Clid moving down mid, and this is what Kahn loves to do on his Aatrox. He loves diving turrets now that he has no revive mechanic. It's hilarious.
And now, FLICKR just looking to endlessly crash the wave and try to get any kind of chip damage, but not really proving to be that successful. Chovy has a 1 CS advantage.
Yep, and also has himself some Merc Treads as well, so the chains aren't going to be as dangerous. And as Silas, you want to be at 1 with the chains. That is, he's the Unchained for a reason. So good to see that. Not going to be too worried about getting CC'd or anything like that. We're not going to be able to utilize any of the new reveal mechanics of the chains either, unless Brush is going to be played with. Kingslayer gets a lot of value here in the mid lane, but the chains also, that's Mimic chains that come down as Chovy's hijack is working.
Yeah.
FLICKR moves back. Have an ultimate.
He slipped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You notice that...
Well, Doran's looking for it. Lightning Rush is going to get in. Chovy's going to close the gap as well. Lands the CC, although there's a bit of a visual bug, and we're going to even out the kill score, and Chovy gets a red buff.
Yeah, Chovy gets a red buff, and FLICKR is just not in the best lane state right now. And as we are transitioning from early into mid-game now, this is the stage of the game where SKT, they needed an advantage to transition effectively, and they do not have it. Kahn behind in CS, FLICKR behind in CS, also behind in tempo.
Yeah.
And down there in the bottom lane, right now Teddy is ahead in the CS department, but things are about to get worse because this is a 10.5-minute shell.
Yeah. And those plates are well and truly just in the cupboard, ready to come out. We're preparing dinner here on the side of Griffin. 5 people going to be invited, potentially, in one of these lanes. See which one they decide to go for. 1 plate already claimed, bottom side of the map, which is how Griffin have managed to get themselves back after that first blood. And a decent laning phase. FLICKR back mid. Chovy's going to have a lot of purchasing to do here, as that is a full revolver. Comes in beside the Ruby Crystal. And now the Chovy trade's going to be more scary. Another Ocean Drake comes forward. And actually, based on how these lanes have been going, I mean, FLICKR's going to be pretty happy about this, given the fact that he'll be able to get so much of his mana back. Kahn, not so much excited about it. His health regen and mana are something that an Aatrox just straight up does not care about.
Yeah. Not too many of these champions on SKT actually care about this because they're primarily a one-shot, all-in type of team composition where, yeah, maybe, okay, LeBlanc can use some of her distortion and get back some mana, but it's ultimately irrelevant. The way that this team composition fights is just a one-shot, all-in type of manner, in which case the Ocean Dragon doesn't do anything.
Well, right now, Kahn, underneath his turret, not going to be getting any revives, but you can see a lot of value from those Qs. Slicing Maelstrom comes in as Tarzan's trapped himself in his own Cataclysm, but he's got himself a stopwatch. They're going to be absolutely fine, and all these plates are going to be set out for dinner here for Griffin.
Yep, and they get the plates, they get Kahn to leave, so he's going to miss out on...
FLICKR moving up, but Chovy's here just body blocking. Really nice heads-up play from Griffin, reading what SKT's next move is going to be.
And SKT, I mean, they're being cut off at every angle, and when their dragons were rolled as unfortunately as they were, it's really going to feel bad because it means that the 16-minute dragon, or the 17-minute, Infernal, that's going to go the way of Griffin because their champions are going to spike around those times, and their spikes are a lot stronger than SK Telecom's. As you can see that FLICKR, he's not having a good time.
No. Spotted on that ward in the tri-brush. Not going to try any fancy distortions over or anything like that. Wanting to spread his lead, though, and I like the mindset. I like that FLICKR is playing not to win just his own lane, which he's been notorious for the majority of his career, but instead transitioning it into elsewhere. Not going to be successful this time, but look to see him get that roam on as this game goes on. As we have a look at this dive one more time, and apparently having those cool clocks works out pretty well.
Yeah, and a relatively simple kill onto Kahn does end up costing
Doran
some summoners. Yeah, some summoners and the stopwatch. As Clid...
Okay, they're just going to, I guess, share some pixels for a moment as the teleport's coming in, but Kahn will easily be able to lock down the kill. Teleport from Chovy, but he's not able to answer whatsoever. And the plates are going to go. Remember, the turret didn't go down for Griffin after Shelly poked her head in, and if Kahn continues to play like this and continues to get advantages, then we may not be seeing that turret falling down for the next little while.
Yeah. Right now, Kahn and Clid are actually coming up here. It looks like they want to raise the turret. They want to get the first turret of the game. That is, it's taken a while.
It's going to be an ambitious prospect here for these guys because there's minions are a long way away.
You know, what they could do is that they could play around SKT's lack of vision and make them maybe back off a bit sooner by utilizing the cannon teleport and maybe make them think that other members are coming, but not going to happen. Right there, Clid ends up missing that little part, but it's not the end of the world. They end up getting the teleport as well.
Yeah, pretty comfortable here for SKT, top side of the map, whereas elsewhere, Griffin have been able to balance things out. You can see Teddy does have a lead. The Zaya has been farming very well, and no Frostmancy actually picked up a Survivor. You do have an option too, as the Victor Tom Kench lane. You can get Tom a few extra creeps, things like that, by going into that. But deciding not to, Viper wants to have power now, and he has his perfect hex core done, as well as a lost chapter. So he is pretty strong and can clear out waves very effectively. Super speedy Chaos Storm as well.
Man. Do they know?
This is counter gank 5-head timing from Clid right
now. The question mark thing.
Yeah. They know.
Oh, man.
They know what's going on here.
Whoever wins this wins the game, Atlas. This is how this works.
Is that what's written down?
Yeah.
Well, no one's going to win just yet. Doran pokes his head out.
Doran does poke his head out.
One back comes forward. Kahn takes himself a cannon creep as Clid does have the sweeper. And we'll get value for this, right? He's going to be able to take down a couple of
they just
wards.
Threaten?
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks like they're bullying
Doran
here. And Doran not building an Executioner's Calling in this matchup, which is going to get a hell of a lot of value against the Aatrox. Tarzan comes in, looks for a Cataclysm, doesn't find it, as he does at least save the turret. Chovy roaming on up, but there's a control ward here in the brush. Tarzan puts down one of his own, but that is not going to be counteracted as Clid moves back towards his chicken camp because he's hungry.
And Infernal coming up in 15 seconds. Both top laners have teleport available.
Now, these control ward trades are pretty hectic. As Tarzan put down the first one, killed a control ward, put down the second one, and killed a control ward off that as well. Clid staying out of control ward range as Effort is roaming on in, and Griffin, they're not going to be able to take down the turret either.
It's a little bit surprising. They knew about the control ward, and you can see that Clid was even playing around the range, but it's just unrealistic that they would be able to achieve any sort of a kill up there onto the cannon.
Yep.
And you know, the other thing about this is that neither team seems to really be devoting that much attention towards the Infernal Dragon, which has been up for a while.
Well, Chain is going to land here as we've got Effort diving on forward. That was just a battle dance, as Chovy's hijack is now on cooldown. Chovy's actually surprisingly tanky in this matchup right now. Has himself an arm guard as well as his proto belt for the extra health. And Kingslayer to keep himself sustained.
I think Aatrox has Black Cleaver.
Yeah,
I think he has the Black Cleaver off the recall. We're seeing LeBlanc right now. Ooh. Okay. Almost a long sword for AD.
Yeah, and third Ocean Drake.
Yeah.
Ocean Drake is allowed to be called Ocean Drake when it gets to the third one, as LS
That
tells
is true. That is true. It is. It truly is.
It's allowed to actually heal you.
Maybe it's not. Yeah, I get. All right, I'll let you say it. Ocean Drake when it gets to 3, but even still, it's very lackluster.
Yeah, not exactly like getting 3 Inferno.
It actually needs a buff.
Yeah,
Ocean needs a buff. Ocean needs to do. Ocean. I don't even know how you would buff it actually.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, okay. Effort going on in. Lehends getting charmed up by the quickness, but Teddy is trying to get what he can done. Didn't have Blade Caller, I don't think, after that. Oh, okay, still able to get the range onto Viper there. Softening up these bottom laners of Griffin. But using an aggressive Featherstorm is an interesting choice to make as the Xayah. Definitely your most important defensive tool. Teleport going to come in, and this is what it's capitalizing on. Teddy finds himself in the middle of nowhere as Effort does get the knock-up, but Slicing Maelstrom will finish off the Xayah. Effort has to go into his stopwatch, but he has nothing else to do afterwards, and now Kahn has teleported into a disaster. That was just bad.
Yeah, that was... I'm not quite sure what to make of it. It was a very cookie-cutter teleport that ended up being successful.
I mean, it all stems from that Featherstorm being on cooldown, right?
Yeah, Featherstorm was on cooldown, but also electricity is really good against flying. So when Pikachu comes for Pidgeotto,
yeah, true.
That's what happens.
And I think it's a Pidgey at this point. I mean, we don't have the 2 items yet where you get to be Pidgeotto. Pidgeot comes in after 6 items are done, and when you sell your boots, your Pidgeot Mega Evolution.
Right. See, I like how you got this all down pat.
Oh yeah, dude.
I really like it. Yeah. This is quite good.
Well, Teddy did teleport towards the top side after he revived. He does have 2 items now done. So I guess you can almost call him Pidgeotto, but I think it's more like 3 items.
He's Pidgeot.
What? I don't know. Pidgeot's the final level.
Yeah, he's Pidgeot now.
Really?
Yeah, he wants to be. Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
You're just going to give it to him. That's okay. You are low standards after all.
Right.
Okay, Griffin do have a slight lead as we
call?
check out this one again. Yeah.
All right, well, getting your lesson in Pokemon right here is what's happening.
Yep.
as the flying types do get killed there by the teleport.
Yeah, it was a double battle, but when there's an electric move that hits two flying types at the same time, it's almost like a 1v2. Easily done by the very quick Pikachu. I believe Light Orb was attached to this Pikachu as well, buffing its base stats.
That, you know, I always remember whenever you say it, you used to play competitive Pokemon.
I did. I mean, it was a long time ago.
That's all right.
In Gen 4.
You can burn.
Faker dives on in with the Mimic, gets a flash out of Viper, who is pretty squishy at the moment, so I understand and respect the flash. Kahn closing in onto Chovy, though, who picks himself up a Glacial Prison. Good knock-up comes down now as the Infernal Chains will arm. All of the abilities from Kahn come in, but Chovy still able to hold this one. Kahn can't hit an ability, will find the last one and should be able to get out. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, even more action as Faker's diving on forward. That was very close to Chovy outplaying, but couldn't quite do it. And now mid lane outer turret is under fire. It looks like SKT have woken up and have turned on the aggression.
Yeah. And it looked like Chovy was maybe going to be able to stabilize, and now as we come back into the middle lane, though. Now let's pay attention to Effort's HP, okay? He has double Ocean.
Oh, yeah.
It's already been about 10 seconds, so...
He's back up to half health.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Hold on. He was at half at like 2140, right? Let's see when he's at 1/3 or 2/3.
That's almost 2/3.
No, it's not.
It's a cup half full.
It's been like 30 seconds. Full. Oh my. All right.
Check this out. It was a decent prison that came back, but the permafrost is the biggest problem here for Chovy as far as taking all of those cues from Kahn.
Yeah, and then right here, I mean, he was trying to do...
He found one sweet spot after the cues.
He was trying to do his best.
He got the right one.
Quick feet, but in the end, not able to do anything here, as in the mid lane, FLICKR, he lands the chains. Sir Thomas goes golden.
Yep, getting the stopwatch out of Lehends is actually very powerful, though, because it is Tahm Kench's ability to play in a team fight removed in a lot of senses, so can't play frontliners easily. That should be a dead Tahm next time it comes to it. And here we go, Ocean Drake. Now that he thinks of it.
And this is the real victory. Oh man, all right.
What do we have? Infernal comes in next.
Failed again, foiled. You know, I went for the mountain because it's the riskiest.
Yep.
You know, Infernal's a little bit safer as one's already spawned.
Yeah, so. yeah. I think maybe the next one will be.
You always gotta try to show off sometimes. Sometimes.
I feel like it's gonna be Cloud. It's gonna be Cloud.
You know what?
Feels like it's gonna be a cloudy type of day.
We're not even gonna get it. So that dragon's gonna be taken after 30.
All right.
Okay.
I didn't read that far. Okay. Oh, Chaos Storm going down once again, but it's the catch on the bottom side. Doran is just dead. Slicing Maelstrom ain't slicing nothing at this point in time. Doesn't get any of those stuns, and this is what happens when SKT gets control of your jungle and gets vision control around the map. They are so good at playing around it, and we witnessed it right there.
Yeah. The gold advantage, though, at the top is not massive. It's only a couple hundred at any point in time, depending on who recently farmed the wave. It's 600 right now.
And it's been ping-ponging. It's been backwards and forwards here this entire game. Yeah. And SKT do have themselves the extra Drakes, and they've denied Griffin every single one of them. So this is actually very important. Because of SKT's ability to play the macro game around Baron in the late game, the Elder Drake is not going to be a trade scenario. It's going to be if SKT goes towards the Elder Drake, they win. And if Griffin goes towards the Elder Drake, they trade it for a Baron, and then SKT still wins. So it is going to be a point where Griffin are going to potentially be stretched too thin around this map, trying to defend two objectives that mean different things for each team.
Yeah. And
it's very important this game.
Griffin's team composition wants to fight as a unit because the Kennen is just too far behind, like we're seeing in the replay. Can't really do anything. This is what happens when AD Kennen tends to fall behind. It becomes very difficult to get up and off the ground again. It's sort of like a Jin airplane.
Yeah.
You know, in the LCK.
Yeah.
Trying to get off the runway. Maybe they're going to get their first win tonight.
Jin Air?
Yep.
Wait, how far forward are you flicking? What is going on? I don't even have the pages for the next match yet.
Don't.
Jesus. All right. Well, hopefully Big Chungus comes out one more time. I'm not allowed to say Wabam. It's a Brendan Valdez thing.
Oh, okay.
I haven't said it. We've had Jarvan all day and haven't said Wabam once.
Okay.
Out of respect. I wanted to, because it sounds really fun.
Yeah.
As Kahn's found Doran, but isn't able to hit too many of these abilities as Slice of Maelstrom comes in. And Infernal Chains aren't going to be enough to stop Doran from winning this trade handily. And that's what happens. This is a swingy matchup, because if Kahn doesn't hit everything, Doran just kills him.
Yeah.
Rules of attrition. Okay.
Now.
Oh,
meanwhile,
there's the flag once again. Tarzan?
In this game, I mean, it's going to come down to the smoke and mirrors by the LeBlanc in the later stages, because you can just see that there's not really much to be obtained during the lull state. Unless
trying
Doran,
to make his way down, not going to get the knock up, but the Infernal Chains land flash very early. Teleport also thrown in. Kahn keeping his distance, telling Clid that he doesn't want to take this fight. As now Chovy is going to find the Aatrox. Doesn't hit any of his buttons though. And the Umbral Dash gets Kahn to safety. Clid, can he be as lucky as Effort? He's got the quickness. 3 men have been
Tarzan
caught up by it, as Lehends does have the Devour in order to get himself out of the way. Okay, Teddy, is he going to be able to get the work done here in the backline? Lehends in trouble. Chaos Storm doing so much work though. Kahn trying to keep them busy. In the meantime, it is Kahn going down, but it's traded as Viper is going to fall. Effort very, very low, but it's a 1-for-1. As this game goes on, FLICKR gets back to his distortion, back to the Mimic distortion. He's in danger now as Tarzan gets himself back in. Teddy picks up that kill, and it's a disruption, a massive explosion of damage, as Griffin are going to be lying in the river, and SKT move over to the Baron.
You know what? I always mocked Ocean Dragon, but look at the region right now.
Oh, hell yeah, that's the value.
When their HP is as low as it just was, they will take anything. And in moments like this, a couple hundred HP regenerated, also still working against the Baron, it's actually going to be useful somewhat.
Yeah, I'm calling it Typhoon Drake now.
Typhoon Drake.
Oh, there we go. Monsoon Drake, there we are.
Ooh, Monsoon Drake for Monsoon season.
And it works with the Infernal Drake because it's still hot. There we go.
I like that. As right here, like you were saying, Kahn was saying, no, I don't want to go in here. And Clid said, but I actually hit my ultimate this time.
Kahn also made it out of combat, so his health bar got back to over half.
Yeah, his health bar ended up going... This is one of the interesting moments where Ocean Dragon's actually effective.
I'm defending Open Drake next time you say it.
No.
Yeah,
no,
absolutely.
No. The outliers define the rule, okay? So... Effort and Teddy right there doing massive amounts of damage. FLICKR, he comes in here with the distortion. He missed his ethereal chain. He took it back. And you can see that I think that even Griffin wasn't expecting that. And then FLICKR, he jumped right in there.
The flash.
1 HP remaining effectively.
And then moves back to the Baron, and once they get there, it was and the Infernal Drake comes in afterwards.
And you got the Cloud Dragon right.
Damn, Monsoon season has truly struck right now.
On point.
I mean, I just checked the right page. All right. You're busy looking at the Jinnet pages.
This is G-Sun's fault. I didn't get the right script. What do you want me to do?
All right, I want you to get the right script next time, and I want this team fight to work out as well, as the quickness is doing so much for Effort. Battle dances his way out, gets that extra range, jumping onto Teddy. Tarzan in out of position, and SKT strike. They like a Viper, although Griffin has the Viper on their squad. Moving on forward, Gravity Field does nothing. Lehends with the Devour, but he may actually get punished for it. FLICKR, that is not the real one that's up towards the top side. That goes down, but the rest of SKT are brutalizing these Nexus turrets. The first one should go down, but it is Kahn that's going to have his back stopped by Chovy. As that tower does bite the dust, SKT still trying to work out whether they can get any more, and they decide to play it safe by the water, which is what we recommend during Monsoon season.
Yeah. Definitely are playing it safe. They're going to recall. They also got the Nexus turret, so now any inhibitor can spell lights out.
Absolutely, and they got the Baron inhibitor as well.
Right.
As our Baron is still available for another minute and 20 seconds, as this is Ocean Drake value that you're witnessing right here.
Okay.
Any other team would have to back away. Look at full health. Full health.
You know, well, Zaya.
Monsoon Dragons, man. Monsoon Dragons. Just beautiful to witness as we're going to have a look. Speaking of witnessing, look at this fight one more time. Could be the last nail in the coffin, honestly, for Griffin. It's going to be difficult for them to find their way back in after this. And Effort playing really beautifully on this Rakan to get this all worked out.
And then Kahn coming in here. I mean, Griffin, they were saying, well, I thought Aatrox was nerfed. He doesn't have his revive, so, you know, you're going to be careful here.
Yeah.
As Kahn...
Triple knockup.
Yeah, triple knockup, just doing so much damage right there. Onto the turret. Faker's clone ends up dying, but Griffin, they do manage to hang on for the time being.
Yep. I think that actually redeemed a lot of the missed abilities that Kahn had earlier on in this game. That was beautiful Aatrox play to guarantee that. And he's got a hell of a lot of items. My god, Youmuu's Ghost Blade as well as the Black Cleaver and the Sterix Gauge now moving towards his Guardian Angel to adhere to the lore as FLICKR gets hijacked, but is able to do a lot of damage with his Mimic Distortion. And all of the turrets are just falling down at the wrath of SKT. Knockup not going to land there from Kahn. As they're sieging on the top side. Mid lane is also getting threatened.
Well, Eddie, yeah, he's being
Chaos Storm
back.
is actually pretty scary. As,
yeah,
Chovy. All right, Kahn, they're over the wall. Umbral Dash is going to get him back again. That's what happens when you have 40% CDR on this Aatrox. Clid, that's the fadeaway. Lehends going to get caught up as in goes Effort. That was amazing, but the Grand Entrance is not enough. It is able to take down the turret, but no one on Griffin has died just yet. Great Devour saves Tarzan's life as Doran almost just gets insta-killed by FLICKR, and once again the re-engage, and this time SKT will be able to strike the fatal blow. The second inhibitor falls, and one Nexus turret is going to be there between SKT and keeping their hopes alive. Triple kill from Teddy. It's the Quadra stolen by Clid, but they don't care about that. The last Nexus turret goes down, and the Nexus will fall. They did suffer their first injury, did SKT, but it was not fatal on this day.
And this is a really big win for SK Telecom as they continue their trek. Post-Rift Rivals, taking down Griffin here is really, really, really big for them, because Griffin is still one of the best teams in the LCK, and they did so in pretty decisive fashion. Game number 2, they almost brought it back after all of the mishaps that occurred early, and they could have definitely won game number 2. If you play out
it felt like it was a little
points,
bit of a throw around the Baron as well. Like, I mean, that was a bit of a problem, but the fantastic True Shot Barrage is what secured it for Griffin. I think largely it was to do with good play from Griffin, and Griffin not being able to stand up to the pressure that SKT had in a game number 3 where they had winning lanes, where they had control early. Instead of saying, hey Griffin, you play too slow, we're just going to outscale you, they said, well, if you're going to play fast, we're going to play faster and we're going to win. And they did.
And that is what ended up happening. High five happening right there between Kahn and Clid.
Yeah, really nice play from SKT, and SKT that feel like they're back on track. I mean, it was weird that we had sort of team compositions ran back at each other in game number 2, but this was a really fun one. Kahn also redeeming himself mid-series is huge news. This guy is a very emotional player and was known for getting tilted out of contention on the top side in series like this, but this was a clutch game where he was just able to outplay Doran on a different champion matchup and being able to take down that Kenny. It's great to see these SKT players in high spirits, and I think that the power of the Coma belt is out once again. CV Max couldn't match it this time.
It's too strong. It's a little bit too strong, as right now we're taking a look at this poster yet again. Now remember, that's pasted on.
It's pasted
okay.
on.
Lesneck can see Lescams,
yeah,
you know, or
exactly.
I can definitely see one right there.
Yeah.
As that's, that's very cute. That looks like, is it Plusle and Minel?
Oh yeah,
right?
from
Pokemon?
Pokemon? Yeah.
See?
What were they, Gen 3? Yeah,
Gen 3. Yeah, Gen 3. They were very cute.
They were very
They were adorable.
They were very, I wish their stats were better, or they had evolutions. That made me a little bit sad. But
well,
SKT playing this one out very, very nicely, and I was worried. I was worried for a moment because remember, SKT need to win. They need to win every single game if they want to threaten. Of course, things towards the top of the standings are a little bit higgledy-piggledy, a little bit all over the shop. However, man, they're doing it. It's happened. I mean, we've got like, what is it, seven wins in a row now for SKT. Yep, that is going to be the 7th. It is a 2-1 for the first time in their winning streak, but That is going to be still green in the victory column, which is exactly what they need. And with the amount of 2-0s they had, their game score has been going up very, very consistently. I do have it written down right here, what SKT are actually sitting on as far as game score, and it's
ridiculous.
+6.
You even have a highlighter.
I do. I have a highlighter. I've figured it all out. I got it sorted out here. But like, you've got a +5 for both the FLICKR and King Zone. You've got only a +7 for Sandbox, who are in 2nd place. I mean, SKT, even if they get into tiebreaker scenarios, they will have that game score to back up this incredible run that they have. Checking out some of these highlights, Clid's first blood, what he did in their last series against Gen G on the Sejuani. And this time around, he was thwarted in this jungle at level 6, but being able to get Kahn started was really important.
Yeah.
This was a yikes. This was a really weird one.
Yeah, this was a really, really big yikes. And at this point also, Effort, he was running towards Kahn. He was saying, Kahn, save me, and Kahn said, I can't. The sword's very big. I can't lift you as well. This is not a kill that you see every day. That was definitely behind enemy lines. You know what? Kahn and Clid, they picked on Doran. I think that at the end of game 2, Coma probably showed them the clip of how emotional Doran was, and they're like, all right, guys.
Yeah, we found out.
We know what to do. Kahn's like, I know what that feels.
Yeah, he does. He knows.
And this was the Miracle team fight that salvaged the game state, converted into the Baron, and allowed SKT to lose.
Yeah, and Effort actually dancing around this fight really, really nicely. I can't remember who I gave the MVP to, but right now I want to give it to Effort. And maybe I didn't see whether he does pick that one up, as we will have him on your screen relatively soon. But this is a series that we hyped up, that we knew would probably go to 3 games, but man, it delivered in a lot of different ways, both strategically and as far as how the action was going. Game number 3 a lot faster than the other 2, but man, it's really good to see Griffin and SKT, because you know that this means so much to these 2 teams. This matchup is just such a big one.
Yeah. And it is a little bit of a rough loss for Griffin, as they will fall a little bit further down.
Yeah, and SKT got 0-2'd by Griffin.
Yeah.
In the first round robin. That was the end of their losing streak. Their last loss was against Griffin. It was when everyone was really worried. And then they went up against KT. The 2-0s commit.
I think they were just saying just crack through, basically. Just go.
Well, they did. They went.
야 빠지자. 한번 빠지고. 이제 이거까지만. 야,
캔은 아직 모르거든. 파워 깨고 빼자. 뺄래? 뺄래?
캔 필요. 아니야. 네. 얘 먹기 없어.
나이스. 들어가지 마. 너무 들어가지 마. 네. 노플.
깨봐.
탑웨이브.
탑 내가 몸에 준 생각할게.
나이스.
The thing I really love about this is
자야만
hearing
자야만 봐.
how
자야
vocal
이거 가져.
Effort is.
형 탱이다.
We know that,
타이밍
Mata being replaced by Effort was going to be dangerous based on the amount of experience. But Effort seemed to have complete control and composure during that one, as Kahn is losing his goddamn mind. Speaking of composure, not there for the Aatrox player, but he did so much damage. Being able to out-damage a cannon as an Aatrox is a huge deal, despite having a lot of range on your abilities. This was a big win for SKT, and SKT that continue to be on the rise. There was a slight pothole, but this Jeep just kept plowing on through.
Yeah. And SKT can feel really good about winning this series as they continue to march on.
Yeah, we're going to have a look at the standings pretty soon as well, and it's going to be real crazy stuff towards the top. As we do have the MVP available, it's Clid, 5-1-5 on the Sejuani. There are a lot of players that deserved the MVP this game, but Clid being able to lock down that first blood was definitely a big one.
Yeah.
And a nice flash there.
And this one was really clutch, and I don't think that Doran was able to try to go for the Dyrus flash there, so looked like he just tried to flash what he could, ended up not working. Clid did get the ball rolling. He camped top lane.
He did.
You know?
And it worked.
Yep.
Chovy got dove. Kahn misses out on his MVP by missing the first 2 Qs. After Clid decides to valiantly tank the turret here for the Aatrox. Umble dashes there, gets himself over, and it's pretty clean and comfortable for SKT in the end. The drafts were really funny. They were really funny, but in the end it was SKT that were able to change it up. They got themselves an early game draft, and they were able to dominate Griffin much faster than they were able to in game number 1.
I mean, that's what they wanted to do coming into tonight's series. So now we're going to go to the winner's interview.
We are. Clid and Teddy standing by, so here's Ji-sun for some translation.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Susan with the Never Translation, and we'll be hearing from Teddy Clid from SK Telecom, finally making it to the west side.
네, 정말 축하드리고요. 오늘 진짜 고생 많으셨어요.
Congratulations on the win, Teddy.
첫판 약간
Game number 1.
이겨가지고 두 번째 판도
We had a very
화끈하게 터져가지고
spicy game. However, we actually got smashed in game number 2, so we kind of cheered up to come back to game number 3.
SKT가 그리핀 상대로
Well, SK Telecom.
스플릿에서는 승이 없었어요.
This was the first time to take down Griffin during the regular split.
클릿 선수 어떤 점에 중점을 두고
What was the focal point in terms of preparation?
일단 저번 인터뷰 때도 말했다시피
As I mentioned in my previous interview, playing around our strength and advantage is really important. For today, I think it's about Kahn, for especially game number 2, he had a very hard time. I mean, I could understand if he was having a meltdown, but he actually really strong with his mentality. So in game number 3, he does such a great work. So why did you guys open Cannon for Doran in game number 3? Kahn can do anything on Aatrox. He can just deal with any other champions in the lane.
네, 그리고 클리 선수는 3경기 내내
The play that you played Sejuani for 3 games in a row, especially first picking it, or rather blind picking it. But you also mentioned that you actually like playing it, but no one really opened it for you. Well, during the spring split, it was not actually the best champion in the meta, but Summer, I think it's the top tier champion. But since I got the opportunity, I started to playing in it, and we thought it's a really good champion, so we just keep sticking to Sejuani. In game number 3, Viper went with non-AD carry champion, which is he's really good at it. Well, I didn't really expect it, but it doesn't really influence our plan much. We were just farming, but the top jungle duo was just destroying other lanes, so it was really comfortable for me.
자, SKT가 오늘 1세트, 3세트 모두 한타를
잘
풀었는데
Telecom, it was the team fight that kind of gained the momentum, so we have highlights of a team fight over here.
네, 이때 금세 빠지시더라고요.
So, you guys are actually backing here.
캐넨이 혼자 있는 걸 노려봤는데
Well, we thought Cannon was isolated, and then we saw the teleport coming in. So we just wanted to back first, but we had a really nice angle. The Griffin players were actually coming too deep inside to our position, so... Well, actually, Aatrox was a little bit isolated, so he died, but we had a really nice team fight over there. So as an AD carry, as Clid said, Griffin players were going in too much, so I was hitting all the enemies that are hitting with the CCs.
저렇게 딜교를 해주는 게 인상적이었습니다. SKT가 이렇게 상대를 잡아내고 승리를 가져오게 됐고요. 그리고 좀 1세트로 돌아가
So let's
보면
go back to game number 1.
팽팽한 대결이었어요. 사실 3세트가 좀
really
비슷하게
even.
볼 수도
The game
있는데
was going back and forth, like game number 3, but SKT players were actually calmly scaling up and waited for the power spike to hit. So when was that timing?
저희가 코르키 성장에
We
최대한 맞춰서 게임
wanted to play around the Corki, how he scales. So we knew that we will be in a huge lead as Corki really scales up, so we were kind of waiting for it. So we have this highlights of a team fight in mid lane.
자, 이때 아칼리의 피가 훅 빠지고 시작을 했었죠. 얘기 좀
So
들어볼게요.
Akali was a bit isolated, and her HP actually went down. Well, I think she was a bit too forward, in a bad position.
네, 그리고 이때 많이들 궁금해하시는데
And also, we have another question
이즈가
here.
갑자기 진입을 했다가
Viper actually dashed forward and then autoed a ward.
클리 선수가 깐 거다.
Did you place that, Teddy? Do you remember that?
일단 저는 아닌 것 같고
Not me, I believe.
포지 박은
No.
것 같은데
I think maybe effort. Nice play from effort, I have to say.
SKT를 또 승리로 이끄는 구심점이 됐습니다. 오늘 경기 진짜
Today's
쉽지
match
않았어요. 클리드
was not
선수는 아까
easy,
데뷔할
you know?
때도 보니까
And
좀 많이
I saw you in the
힘들어하시는 것
waiting
같은데
room,
오늘
really being
전체적으로
nervous.
SKT의
So,
플레이 또 클리드
How
선수의
do you
플레이에
rate your
점수를
performance
매겨본다면 몇
today?
점 정도 될까요? 10점 만점에?
Out of 10,
만점에 한 7, 8점 정도 되는
7
것
to
같고
8.
아직 두 번째 판 저희가 졌기 때문에 아직
Because
3점
we
정도가
lost
기다리지
game number
않았습니다.
2. I think we have a lot of
역시
things to
완벽하고
improve.
싶은 SKT 선수들의 마음입니다. 하이. 자 그리고 바텀 듀오 호흡이 정말 더 좋아진
And we have
듯해요.
another
아까
question
선수
for you,
얘기도
Teddy.
하셨는데
So you are
요즘
now
보이스
playing
장면이
more
나올
with
때마다
the new
에포트
supporter
선수의 그
efforts.
돌부처 같은 보이스가
And
화제예요.
we could see
라인전
him
할 때도
really
에포트 선수가
always
많이
cool-headed,
집중하는
making
편인가요?
calls really
라인전
calmly. So
일단
does he
그렇게
kind
막
of make a
중간
lot of
상태니까
calls in laning phase?
뭐
Not really.
집갈 때만 되게 말 자주 하는 편이고
He really
뭐
talks a
그냥
lot only when
라인전
he's like
할 때는
recalling.
그냥 서로
During the
그냥
laning phase,
알아서 맞춰서
we
하는 것
actually
같아요.
just kind of
네,
play
SKT 선수들이
to
정말
like to get
한 분
adjust
한
to each
분
other.
다 제 역할을 해주셨습니다. 이제 다음 경기가 킹존인데요.
And your next
승리
opponent
계속
will be
이어나가서
Kingdom.
플레이오프에 안착해야 되겠죠.
For your
클리드
playoff
선수 먼저
race,
가고
it's
들어볼게요.
another very
일단 저희가
important match.
지금까지도 기세를 타고 있기 때문에
We are
경기에서
still on a great momentum,
충분히 이
so
기세보다 더 좋은 기세를
we just want to
보여드리도록
maintain this
하겠습니다.
and make sure to win
네, 클리드 선수의 각오
on our
들어봤고요.
upcoming series.
테디 선수도
And
말씀
Teddy,
부탁드릴게요.
would you like to add on to that?
연승 중이고
We're on a winning
기분도
streak.
좋은데
Feels really
최대한
nice
저희 팀도 잘하니까
because
연승
our
이어가도록
team is
열심히
so good.
노력하겠습니다.
We're just going to do our best to keep this winning streak going.
네, SKT가 7연승 이어가고 있다는
So
소식
this will be the end of the interview with
여기서
Teddy,
인터뷰
Clid from
마치겠습니다.
SK Telecom,
감사합니다.
picking up another win against Griffin.
Teddy
I'm going to
선수,
pass it
Clid
back to the
선수
casters.
함께했습니다.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ji-sun, for your interview translation once again. And thanks to Teddy and Clid as well as LS. Put it down. Put it down. What if someone sees? What the heck? Script visualized on stream?
I'm sorry.
It was supposed to be, in theory, a meme, and now you've shown everyone that it's actually the truth, and now we look silly.
You know what? I messed up. I'm sorry, Alice.
Well, do you know what your punishment is? The Jin Air series. No, it's not going to be punishment. It's actually going to be really fun. And also, we're going to be checking out the standings after that one. And if Damwon are actually able to get that victory, then they should be able to hold sole possession with a few points in the lead ahead of second place of first place. So that'll be really big for Damwon Gaming. And also, it's always exciting to see how much inting or winning Noguri is going to do from that top side of the map. Well, I mean, you guys saw the script. You know that he knows.
Jin-Air wins.
This is the thing, like, you say it like a bold prediction.
Is this Pog for you too, Atlas, or what?
Well, I mean, this is the problem. You anti-Pog everything because you're just reading it off the script.
No,
like,
this is Pog.
Oh, man. SKT make it into the top 5, though, guys. Then they are in touching distance of the top spot. This is the crazy thing, right? Damwon are still the team with, they've got a game left to play. They're a couple of games behind. Sorry, yeah, one game behind SKT at the moment. They're going to be playing in our next series. They will be able to get to 10 wins. They will be able to stretch that lead ahead of Sandbox and Gen G, who are hot on their heels. But Sandbox still do have that game to play as well, and Gen G also haven't played so much this week. So, man, the LCK towards the top is so incredibly exciting. And for this particular week, we still have one very special match to go. It will be about 30 minutes, and then we'll be back for Damwon Gaming versus the King of the Chungus, Jin-Air Green Wings. We'll see you then.
You take me higher when I feel low. Make my world brighter when I'm alone. I keep on rolling, all with your fuel. You're like my gasoline that makes my dream come true. 'Cause this is the beginning.